Okay, so here we have the November issue, highlights for November. We had erased them all. I've created most of the articles. I'm just going to show you how when there isn't one that you've copied, that you're creating a new one for this category. You can just click New, and you can take your text from the PDF by just highlighting it. For this particular article, I'm going to do News from the Museum. So you can copy that, bring it over here, click source button, then you can paste the text in there, and you'll see it's all one big paragraph. But we'll go back here, see if it's all one paragraph anyway. So is there any italics? No. So we'll take the title. We'll put the title in because this is a new article. That's a new title. Make sure it's in November. Highlight still. It's automatically going to be published. Well, the author is not me. We'll just put tempo, but we can use the alias, which is Guy Coté. Just copy that and paste it in here. As a special contributor, it's going to be in there. So that's all there is to do to create a brand new article in the highlights area, because you're going to be erasing the old ones. So we can just save that, and that should be added to our list here. News from the museum. There it is, the top. News from the museum. Author Guy Coté. It's in highlights. Everything is okay. Now our English side is done. So the next step is to do the French side. Exactly the same thing we did for this. The only trick is that this website is all in English. We have to use a component that does the translating, or actually helps us with the translating. So it's called Joomfish. So it's under components in the back end here. The first thing we do, we have to manage the translations. Now we have created all the English versions. What we want to do is make a copy of those on the French side, so that all of our images, everything's sort of copied in place in our formatting, and we'll just replace the French text. So copy original to the language. That's exactly what it says here. We'll just click on that. And here we have a list of all the different things. This management system can translate anything on the website, but what we're concerned about is the contents, which are the articles. So we just check that. This is the only one we're going to copy. We're not going to worry about the categories. Well, actually we could translate the categories so it says November, and also the sections, so that November is translated into Novembre. So that's the sections as well. And later on we'll be doing the menus as well, because we're going to need a French version of the menus, but we haven't done the menus yet. We're going to do that last. So select the language. Well, we're going to copy it to the French. Do not copy to English, because you'll just be copying English to English, which doesn't make sense. And do not check overwrite existing translations, because it will erase every single translation on the website. So just select language, French, and then hit copy. What happens now? It's going to go through all the different contents and categories. You can see we have the 5 categories that we did. It's going to go through the contents. It's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes, so I'll just pause this while we're waiting. Okay, all our contents have been translated or transferred over to the French side. They're not translated, that's what our job to do, but they've just been copied over. So next step is just to click on the translations. We'll select the language, it's French, Français, and the elements, well, it's the contents. So you can just click contents there. And it's going to give you a list of all the sections and all the categories. Well, we're not concerned with all the sections and categories. We're just concerned with November 2011. And oops, I clicked the wrong button there. Go back to Joomfish, translation. Okay, so all the sections, all the categories, back to November 2011. Now just remember, this is all on the internet, so depending on your connection, sometimes you can lose your connection, so don't worry too much. But what happened here is all our titles, these are all our from November 2011, have been transferred in English over to the translation section. So we're going to have exactly the same article, but English, but now we're just going to add the French text into those things. So it's all alphabetical here. So if we just go back to our pages here, you know, you can find an article. So money for BMP Foundation, copy. You can find that here, money for BMP Foundation. Click on that. Oops, we want to take the French side, not the English side, because we've already done the English side. Copy. So click on that. You can see that the state that has been brought over and it's published. So these are going to turn yellow because what we're doing is we're editing one or the other side. So don't worry if they're yellow. Green is the best, but it doesn't really matter. So the text, that's the original translation. We're going to erase the alias like we always do. Now there's the original, the translation. Well, this is English, so we're going to go to our source. We can use that to select all, paste our French text in there. Take a look at our original, if there's any bold or anything like that. Something after puis. There we go. And plus de 900. Okay, here we go. Plus de 900. Okay. Take the title. You paste it in there for our translation, and that's all we need to do. We can just publish that. So save it. It's going to take the author from the original, so don't worry about that. But the thing to notice is down here that the BMP Foundation one is published, so that one is done. So we're going to have to go through every single one of these and add the French translation. If there's displaying 20 at a time, we actually have, I think there's 31 or something. So if we display 50 down here, or you can go to the next page, that's no problem. You can get a whole list of all the November ones. If you just want to work on, you know, the regulars, you can filter it down just so you start with all the regulars, get them all published and translated, and then we can go on to the next step.